All right, thank you for joining me this afternoon. Today we will be reviewing how to proof and submit pages in the Memory Book Online program. This webinar is approximately going to take about 20 to 30 minutes, and you'll be able to review all the topics we are covering today in the manual starting about page 186, but it'll be under the design and creation section there. So first thing, I'm just going to jump in here, and I'm actually going to jump over to the next set of pages here, and just kind of go over some things that we're looking for in when we are submitting your book. So the first thing, when you're in the page designer and you're ready to start submitting your pages, or at least start reviewing and getting that process going, when you're in the page designer, if you look down in the bottom right here, you're going to see a little two button toggle here. And if you click on the top button of this toggle, it's going to open up the comment pre-flight section that is here. So it first pulls up to the comments side, but we'll want to click over here to the little triangle, and this brings up the pre-flight panel. So for the pre-flight panel, what this is going to do for us, it's going to help with doing our spell check. It's going to help us with proofing our pages, or it's just an additional spot to proof your pages because there's a print icon on the page ladder. There's a print icon in the top toolbar here, and even when you go PDF, so there's lots of chances to proof those pages, catch anything. Below this, what you'll see here is now if there's any issues with the page, the pre-flight panel is going to show those to us, so that way we can address those issues, take care of them, and be able to complete those pages. So just kind of going through what we have here and what you'll see on the pre-flight panel. Some of the common things that it'll call out to you, it says a text element has text that may not fit. So if you're going through your pages and you're seeing a lot of like little red X, and now this is just on your normal body of text, if you have a red X going through that, what this red X in a text box means is two things. One, it's not all the text in the text box is showing, or there's extra spacing in the text box that is causing that X to be there. So the first way, or how we address like a red X in a text box, is just kind of click on the box, and if you grab the bottom middle handle and start bringing that down, if it reveals any hidden type, then you can kind of see, okay, I've got all my hidden type there, but now I've got all my type showing, so why is it still throwing the X? And that's, if we bring the box a little bit down further, now we did have the X go away, but if we put a cursor in here, we can see we get a cursor that comes below our last line of type. So to get rid of that extra spacing, just hit backspace a few times until you get your cursor behind your last line of type, and that'll fix that red X issue that is there. So once you have an issue like that, it still has a little caution triangle. If we go up and hit save, we'll now see that that issue has been removed from our list. Another one has an image element remains unedited. So the neat thing about the pre-flight panel is when it has these issues showing to you, if you click on the issue of what's going on with the page, the program is going to highlight, when you click on that issue, the program is going to highlight where that issue is. That way you can easily find it and kind of resolve whatever that is. If it's a missing photo box, or maybe it's an empty text box, something like that. In this case, it looks like we have an empty photo box that is behind this picture here. Now, one neat thing is when it's selected like this, you can just hit your backspace or delete key to remove it. Um, Now, for some of those that kind of want to really see what that is, if that way, you just want to hit delete and remove something, you kind of want to see what it is. So if you want to, what you can do here is use the arrange tool to then bring that selected element to the front, and now you can select it and delete it from the page. So either or, I'm going to undo that real quick just to go over that. So with it initially selected, you could remove it just like that as well. Um, but if you'd rather see it before doing that and delete it, just make sure like when it's selected, again, come up to your arrange drop down, bring that empty element to the front, and now that you see where it is and you want to get rid of it, now you can delete it. It'll just go up and hit save. Okay, and now our last one here is a text element remains unedited. So if we click on that, it's going to point out a small little box that's down here in the bottom part, and it's hidden right in this student's shirt. Oh, didn't mean to move the photo there, but you can see it blends in really well. It's kind of really hard to see just with the normal eye. So if you're looking at the page in the designer, that's really hard to see. So it blended right into the red and black on her shirt. Um, so if we hit that text element, it's going to highlight where that is. We can hit delete or backspace to remove that, and then just make sure that we have gone up and hit save. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit more. Okay, so that takes care of finding out all of the issues on this page. So once we have all of the issues done, what we can do from here is go down. Let's see if the page will allow us to mark it complete. So we'll hit complete. And if everything checks out for that page, here, I'll bring that back up. So everything comes through. We'll now see our status color has changed from yellow to green for that page, which means it's completed. Now, if we click down here, we still have page 13 to do. So if I click on 13, we look at this. Page 13 did not have any issues there at all. So we can go ahead and come down and mark this page as complete. And here we are. We have both pages marked as complete now. Now going through, what we typically suggest is when you're doing the whole review and completing and submitting pages, is when you're going through, first go through and just make sure that they all mark as complete. That way you know that you have any issues addressed, and you don't have some submitted pages and kind of a different mixture of statuses there. Why we say just to go through first and make sure all the pages complete is once you do hit complete for a page, your next two options that you're given is submit and return. You do have to do a few things before it allows you to submit, but the good part here is just when it's completed, if you do catch something that you need to fix or address, as advisor, you're easily able to click this return button, put the page back in progress, and make any changes that you have there. Usually with submitted page, if you've accidentally submitted a page, which it will happen in that, you would have to call into us, and now if it's before your deadline, we can return that page to you pretty quickly. Now, one thing about when we do unsubmit pages, it could take up to an hour for that to go through the system and then be back in progress for you. So that's just kind of why we suggest going through, making sure all your pages are marked as complete, before you start sending them in. That way, if there is anything you need to, hit return. Here, I'll go ahead and mark. If you do need to hit return as advisor, you're able to easily do that, and that way you don't have to lose. You don't lose hardly any time there with the submitted pages. Okay, so let's go through. We've fixed all of our elements for both pages here. So let's go through. Let's start working on submitting page 12. So the first thing it'll want you to do here before you can hit submit is it wants you to run spell check. When you run spell check for each page, let me go ahead and click run spell check. So it's going to give you options. It's going to give you change this. It's going to give you suggestions that you can choose from. I'm just going to go with that. Change to candidates. Hit change. And that actually spelled there. So let me actually undo that here real quick. So when you're going through your book, if you do notice this red underline here on your text, that is letting you know that the program thinks something's misspelled there. So it's just an indicator. It's non-printing, so this isn't like a formatted line that will print or anything. It's just an indicator, visual indicator to you that maybe this isn't spelled correctly. So again, we're going to hit that. I'm going to go ahead and hit change to change that, and then I'm going to save my page. And so now spell check is complete for that. If you do go through, we've seen some things over the year, kind of interesting headings where it's like you may have a mixture of staff and faculty, and they call it the staffalty page or some kind of neat or something like that. The program will flag that just because it's not a real word, but when you run that spell check, you can hit ignore, and that way it bypasses that, and that way you still get the heading that you have there. But definitely you will run spell check on all your pages. And then once you are done with spell check, it'll want you to click PDF proof. So we'll then do our proof of our page. So it'll give us a little 2-page proof. Now these proofs are low resolution. They're not color managed, and they're not reflecting the final quality. The reason they pull up, they're kind of medium to low resolution proofs, and that's it's just for proofing content. Your images, and so here it doesn't reflect the full quality of your images on something like this. So just remember, your images are going to print in the quality in which they're submitted in. So if you're uploading really crisp, clean looking images, that's how they should appear in the book. If you get some stuff that's kind of grainy or that's kind of expected. It's just with the quality of the photo. Just let it know on the proofs. Yeah, the proofs are going to be low resolution, and they're just for proofing content, just to make sure I got placement, I got the right order. And usually when it comes to proofing class pages, these are good to hand out to other teachers or assistants around the school that can help kind of read over that class list, make sure everybody's there, and that. So we have run spell check on 12. We have proofed this page, and actually we proofed 13 as well. And now that we're ready, we can then hit submit on that page. And then now submitted page is fully locked down. And now from here, basically we don't start any printing on your pages until all of your pages are submitted. So that's just, keep that in mind. It's just if you submit a page, even if it's before your deadline, if you submit a page, don't think it's immediately going off to the presses and that. No, we actually need all of your pages to go through and create your book. But if you do, accidentally submit a page in there, give us a call. We can quickly kind of get that back to you to make those changes. All right, so we have gone through just how to fix errors on our pages, run spell check, run proof. some other little kind of neat things that you have here, not neat things, well, I guess they could be neat, that you have for your proofing in that, or just areas you can go to get different proofs. Um, one thing here is here within the designer, you've got the preview page that you can do proofs to people. If you're in under plan and page ladder, next to each page, there is, next to each page, there's a little view PDF button that's here. Now, another neat thing is if you're here in the page ladder as well, you can also complete and submit pages here as well. So with my page, this page right here, I don't have much going on to it, but there is a little complete button that's up here. So I'll hit complete there. And it wouldn't complete it because I have a whole bunch of unedited stuff. But this page right up here, I'm going to hit return. So just to show you for page one, I do have that. So here, even here on the page ladder, the buttons are kind of smaller. You hit complete, and then once you hit complete, you then get a little submit and return button. So you can submit your pages here as well, if you're pretty sure. The only benefit to going into the page designer and using the pre-flight tool is the pre-flight tool will instantly kind of highlight, if there is anything wrong with the page, it will instantly kind of highlight where those are. Another thing for proofing is when you're here in the page ladder, let's say that maybe you have, if you're the advisor working on the book, maybe let's say the principal or someone high up, a high up admin or that said, hey, can we get a copy of the book to review to going through? So if you need to do like a whole book proof, here in the page ladder, you'll come to the print drop down. And under print, you're going to have this print all action that's here. When you click print all, what this is going to do, I'm not going to click it here because sometimes it takes a little bit to generate. But the program is then going to generate, it may take a few minutes, but it's going to generate a full PDF proof of your book. It's going to be another kind of a low to medium res proof. But it's more for checking content and checking spelling and just classes and that. Now with that full book PDF proof, once it generates, you can then have the option to print it to your local desktop printer, or you can save that file digitally. I will let you know the file that comes down digitally typically exceeds the size that you can use for an attachment to an email. So usually, which is around 10 megabyte. So if it is kind of real small and you're able to hook it to an email, awesome. Just most of the time we found that when you generate that, it's typically pretty big, and to share it might be best if you bring it down, if you have either like a school network to where they can easily access certain folders, that's a good way to get to them. Or if you use Google Drive, or Dropbox, you can put it to a Google Drive or Dropbox account and share that to whoever needs that full book proof. So just want to get that out there. The page ladder, another area where you can come and submit your pages just using the little buttons that are up here. Also, you come to this area if you want to do a print, like a full PDF proof of your book. Another thing here that can help with reviewing is if we go under Showcase, we can pull up the virtual book. So your virtual book, it's basically it's just a little flip through book. You can kind of grab the corners, and it kind of gives you like the process of how, like if you flipping through a book just to kind of see that does the content flow. So you can grab those pages, or if you click them, they'll go over. Down here, you can jump directly to certain pages. Now this preview does include the virtual book proof does include the bleed. And then if I go into this here just a real quick, and what I mean by bleed is this area, this gray area that's out here. So then this is the area right along the estimated trim line, that red line. But this is the bleed area. So this is the area that is estimated to be trimmed off. But just wanted to show that because the virtual book includes the bleed. So it's not showing a final what this would look like trimmed type of version. It's showing just the page designer and everything included, the bleed there. But again, it's more or less a preview tool to see, hey, to flip through the book, do I have a good flow here? Are things matching up well amongst my spreads? But that's really what this is, just another kind of review tool for you to have. So as far as submitting pages, that is pretty much what I have for you. As far as definitely make sure to go through the pre-flight panel here.
That's fine. Okay, thank you tonight. Now you order some candy tonight.
Okay. So I definitely make sure to use the pre-flight tool here to go through, run your spell check. Any errors will show through here. Now, after you submit your pages, just kind of what to look out for there. Once you do submit all your pages, please make sure to email your customer rep, your sales rep, to let them know you have submitted your pages. Now, when we put the book into production, you will receive a confirmation email with all the specifications of your book. So if you see a mistake, we ask that you let us know right away. Because once the book is into production, there may be a charge to stop the book in order to make those corrections. And I think the last thing I have here is after all that, you will receive an invoice in about 10 days after submission. So that's pretty much the submitting process going through here. You can use the page ladder, you can use the pre-flight tool, but this one's going to be better. Just it's going to easily help you locate those issues and address them just as soon as you can. So we do have a few minutes here to open this up for any Q&A or any frequently asked questions. So if you have, going over the content on submitting your pages or what to look out for, if you have any questions over this, please feel free. If you want to unmute yourself to ask a question, you can do that. If you want to put your question into the GoToMeeting chat controls, I have that open to see your questions. But definitely, I'll open this up to you all, and hopefully I can address anything that you have.
Excuse me, I have a question. Can you hear me?
I can hear you a little bit.
Oh, okay. So I get into the webinar a little bit late, so I missed the point. Where is the pre-flight? Where can I find the pre-flight?
Where do you access it?
Mm-hmm.
Down in the Sarah here, if you down in the bottom corner, there's a little two-button toggle here. So if you click the top button of that, that's what brings this sidebar up for you.
Okay, I get it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I did get a question here. Can you show me how I can zoom in a photo? Let me get to a page, right? I guess that meant if you meant like cropping a photo or, um, so here, I'll just kind of, if hopefully if that's, let me just kind of take this one right here. So if you need to zoom in or crop an image that's already on a page, um, double click on the photo, or if you click on it, come up here and hit crop. But here's where, once you have that crop activated, just grab the little handles of the photo. If the photo is large enough and has the right, size, you can enlarge it using the little handles. You can also grab it and adjust it, and then once you're done cropping, you just click out somewhere. Um, so hopefully that was what on the whole zoom in on a photo. Is that hopefully I answered that. Um, all right, any other questions? Did get one thing here in the chat. Mahalo for the session, very helpful. Sounds like I got a Hawaiian school on here. Awesome. I was may put it really early in your day. Okay, I'm not getting anything else coming in, so I think we may be good to kind of wrap this up for today. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Um, I hope our webinar was helpful and hope that it reduces some stress in submitting your yearbook pages. So if you have any questions or have a problem arise, please feel free to reach out to us here in technical support or go to your customer rep for some help. If you need to reach us, we can be reached at 1-877-302-3140 or send us a quick email at memorybooktechsupport@jostens.com. So thank you everyone for joining me, and we look forward to receiving your books and enjoying seeing all of your creative ideas. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Take care.